Alright, hello everybody, welcome to VR Master League. We're on Channel 1. I'm Palidore, and I'm being joined by PAMWOW. Oh wow, what's up? Been a couple weeks. How's it been, Pam? And what's going on tonight here with Leviathan and Equilibrium?
Oh, it's been pretty good, mate. This game is going to be pretty good. As you said, Leviathan, Equilibrium, two great teams, two great forces here. Even if you take a look at their previous game, they did go to 2 rounds, Leviathan taking away that dub, but the points were very close. If you can recall, we actually casted that one as well. 11-13 in one of those rounds, 8-14 in the other. So Equilibrium giving Leviathan a bit of a struggle for that win there. So let's just see how they take it away in this second one.
Well, certainly. I'm looking forward to that now. Players still making their way into this server, so might be a few minutes here, but that's okay. It's always time for some Echo Overtime here on these OCE streams. So here we are. Yeah, been a couple weeks like we said, but I know Luke's been on top of doing some of these games here and there as well for OCE, and as we approach the end of the season, I mean, we know these games are going to matter all the more. Records, regardless of records, which of course are going to matter for those top 6 and such, but also just being able to end that regular season with like a kind of a positive streak, positive momentum, and go into those finals feeling good and like you're not trying to struggle to still find your place. And for a team like Leviathan, who again we've seen come close to losing some matches or some rounds here and there, definitely they want to be at the tip top of their game just as well as Equilibrium and these other teams at the top who are trying to cause some upsets in the postseason.
Yeah, 100% agree. Carrying that momentum through the next games and the next games to come after that, it's so important, especially with defining your team in that position in the ranks, in the ladders. And as you said, as soon as you hit that final week, it's like all that all that hype that you've given yourself as a team, you've established yourself well. You head into those with that amount of confidence. It can definitely carry your team through a decent amount of dubs there. And also in the chat, D-Foot, Pally and Pam favorite duo. D-Foot, you're my favorite duo. With Rowdy Artifact saying those are some tall casters. Oh, can you tell our height from here, Pally? It looks like I'm a bit taller than you. From how I'm positioned here, Pally. Height check.
Yeah, height check. Hold on a second. I'm gonna fix this right quick. Can't have that. There we go. We're exactly where we need to be now. Yeah, what's up, guys?
Hey, down here.
Nice to see you. We're nice and tall on chat. Oh boy, I miss this. Okay. I'm sorry. That's rude. I will fix this immediately.
Excuse me. If I'm not turned right side up.
Make sure you're fully visible, which you are. Perfect. All right. So, chat. Yeah, it's storming out there. we're causing a storm here in the in the chat.
Hey, put me back up right now.
Okay. I'm sorry. Hold on.
You give me.
All right, we're good now. So.
Yep, appreciate being here on the cast. Honestly, Palidore, one of my favorite casters in the league, and it's just a huge satisfaction to be able to cast all these.
Someone say huge?
Yeah, I was trying to stress that factor. Put me. Oh my goodness. Oh, I feel uncomfortable. Oh my goodness. Give me. I'm not sponsored.
You're not sponsored.
That's it, Palidore. I didn't want to do this.
Oh no. All right, hold on. I'm getting you back to size immediately. Put the lightsaber away. I may have made some mistakes. This is actually very hard to resize. Okay. Hold on. There we go. I found the corners. We're getting you back to size, back to par. This is we're good now. There you go. Safe and sound and properly scaled.
Okay. See, now I'm feeling very comfortable now, despite being exposed to the entirety of the stream. You know what? I hope you guys enjoyed it, Twitch chat. You guys, we felt like giving you a bit of a reward after all those streams.
Yeah, new channel point reward, huh?
Channel point reward. Zoom in on the casters. That should be a thing. It's just Palidore's forehead the entire cast.
Not a bad idea. Just dynamically change the size at the whim of the viewers. Nothing could possibly go wrong.
Mate,
nothing.
I'm looking forward to it now. You've imprinted the image in my mind, and now nothing else will be worth it, to be honest.
10K for giant casters, says D-Foot. Well, indeed. And you said we were your favorite pair, so hey, we're going up a size there. You know, you're my favorite pair, D-Foot. I love having pairs of feet. It's the best thing in the world. Right next to casting with Pam.
D-Foot is D-Man. That's all I'm going to say. He's heard that so many times. Every time I enter his stream, he's D-Man. That's it. There's nothing else to call him.
So you could say D-Foot is D-Man in D-Man, I guess, yeah?
That's true. See, D-Foot?
Yeah.
See? It's not just me. I'm not the only one with making up D puns. Get it? The puns? Anyway.
D puns. Yeah.
No one laughs. Anyway. I can hear the silence, even though it's just chat.
Your puns are very layered. They're deep puns. Deep puns. See, we can do this all night, chat. All night!
You just make it work. I don't know. Well, hopefully we get into D game soon because 3 players ready on Equilibrium and 4 on Leviathan, so Echo Overtime might be over soon.
Yeah, well, contrary to what you just said, I'm hoping they're not on the D game. They need to be on their A game if they want to cause some trouble here.
Yep, the A game is what we're looking for here from both teams, which I'm pretty sure they'll be more than excited to bring to the viewers' pleasure here this late afternoon, 5 p.m. here in the Oceanic region. Sometime maybe 12 p.m. 1 a.m. What's the time for you, Pally?
Yeah, just 10 past midnight, so it's a new day. Yes, it is, and that's quite all right with me. As you said, I mean, winding down the season, this is a team who's given, Leviathan some trouble, and it has come close, so we're bound for some excitement for sure.
Yep, 100%. You can tell they're excited as well, just looking at these players just warming up, playing against each other. They're just all swarming that disc, stealing off each other, just going back and forth here, starting each other out, not afraid to just practice along with each other. So yeah, good to see teams on good terms playing these matches as well.
Indeed. Playing that deep voice there. That was kind of funny. I blew my voice out just about back on Sunday. I don't know if something is wrong with my biology or something, but it hurt a lot less to just go with a really deep HyperX voice. My normal voice is really a pain, but the deep voice was feeling all right. So I was thinking maybe I need to do more of that just to preserve the old vocal cords. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm definitely in a deep voice mood today. I woke up and
Did you say a
been
D
like
voice? Me too. My chair doesn't go down anymore.
I'm back. Demand is back. I just see you just going down. It's okay. No stress here. It's just a pun. You gotta live with it. One of the conditions of casting with Palidore. No, I'm joking. It's a pro. We appreciate the puns.
It's appropriate, you could say.
There it is. Okay, look, I think we need to really consider the name of Echo Overtime to something else that has to do with puns, because honestly, at this point, that's all it's consisting of. No actual talk on the teams on the league. How many puns can we fit into this time frame? That's like pretty much what it is.
True story. Well, what we can do to distract from all that madness is check in again with the chat there, because we do see Agent Victoria and Princess C, and still yet some more D-Foot. I'm going to call you out a few more times just because I can. See Time Jarto as well. Welcome. So I wonder what the status is here too. Hopefully we're not missing any pings or anything, but might be a few more minutes here. We have play the rules at least 2 more minutes until we hit that 15-minute mark. So, fingers crossed. Want to see a full strength equilibrium here.
Old man fingers crossed.
Yes.
Princess. Apparently, there's been some backstory that we haven't uncovered here with Princess and Agent Victoria. Victoria has been drained of life essence.
Maybe that's Victoria's secret.
I see it. I recognize it, Palidore. Good one, mate. I'm really interested now on what's been going on between Princess and Agent. Obviously, some history, some lore that we haven't uncovered here on the stream. Please expose it to us. But in the meantime, if you're just joining us now, we got Equilibrium heading up against Leviathan. 2 teams close stature within the rank ladder, and it's in terms of skills as well. I mean, they're definitely putting each other off in terms of, who's going to take away the dubs. The points have been close within the previous games. So, yeah, always looking to see what can change up throughout the season. And as these teams develop, so Equilibrium is a team that has been constantly developing throughout the previous seasons as well. The players changing, adapting. So yeah, always looking out for teams like Equilibrium and as well as Leviathan, who seem to be, in a more structured sense, more stable within the leading position on the ladder, and they're hoping to ride that wave up to the finals.
Yeah, and you can see that ladder there and the maybe seldom used button. I kind of forget to use it sometimes, but we got indeed the ladder ranks. You can see Leviathan riding high at 13-1, but really, this applies, and especially I think for OCE as well as Europe this season. North America to a degree also, although Ignite's still doing pretty good stuff in terms of dominating, I must admit. But as far as Europe and Oceania, I'd say the top ranks there, I mean, the top 6 is just especially just so, there's so many teams I could see causing upsets potentially in final situations. I mean, Team Gravity over on Europe, as mentioned, they've dropped some rounds, they've dropped some games here and there. Leviathan, although they've still been, excellent, nothing short of it, there's still that possibility as we get a false alarm on a start here. It looks like still down 1 player. So interesting note there, although they don't really have to go that far to call a mod, luckily. So we'll see. We're at the 15-minute mark, and as I say that, look at that. It's Wild Millsy now who just hops into the game, it looks like, as opposed to, I believe they were waiting on Cam perhaps, so maybe just a late game substitute here.
Yep, and as long as they get into the game at the end of the day, who's for us to say how far the game is delayed? Honestly, can't wait to see this 4v4. Millsy, the sub for Cam Jam, Equilibrium able to get all their players just in a nick of time here before the match has started. Well, unless that pause counts as their pause. Was it their pause, or was it the pause, before the right time of the start? Who's starting Equilibrium?
I'm trying to figure out. Too much math, I'm sorry, it doesn't check out in my head. That said, though, I mean, we do have the full 4, so technically speaking, it was before the game started, so I don't think that counts as a game pause, but on the flip side, we're also past the 15-minute mark now, so I don't know. Do the math, somebody. Do the math.
The math. It's happening. Princess said confidence is key. Confidence definitely is key, and something that Leviathan like to stress as well as confidence, it's setting the tone in the beginning of each round. So let's see if they can do just that as we head into the initial joust.
Well, that we do, and only a couple seconds on it because of that pause. So, pardon my lateness, but there we are. First joust here of this round. Indeed, I do need to switch my overlays on that note. But that said, it will be taken here by Opal, sending it over to Soggy, though, on an interception. And into the offense goes Leviathan. And I know they're on the wrong side, just give me a second. But here we go.
It wouldn't be an OCE game if it didn't start off with this amount of chaos. The time starting off too short, but who cares? They're trying to make some sense of it. Leviathan, as the passes make their way in the 360, Real Zero has pushed himself off the pole for the 360. Was that a no-scope? 2 points.
Indeed, well, had some options. I mean, they had Punda as well on the break, and that's actually a play we've seen executed quite a bit, but opted for the flash, and in a flurry, well, 2 points for Leviathan.
Hey, we talked about earlier, they like to set the tone. Maybe that was that little specific message they wanted to get through. We're here to make some style points, and you know what? +2 style points for the Leviathan there as they get the reset Equilibrium, old man fingers.
And sending it over to Disrupt, and exactly that tone setting in the opening minutes of any game, definitely very applicable to just seeing how the rest of the round will go. Obviously, for Leviathan, just looking to hold on steady and strong as a strong arming them. Punda causing some great harm. A backboard bounce, rather a catapult bounce off that entry point where Silver Ridge will get stunned. But Punda on a recovery here should have a second perhaps before the defense arrives. Pass and a little bit of stray back into the wedge.
And that was a smart play earlier that we saw from Leviathan. They had the regrabs back to get towards the fence, but they didn't dedicate all the players to get back to the bubble. They paused halfway and tried to intercept the pass, tried to pressure the pass, and it paid off. Punda was able to find the stun. Oh, the pass, and Punda for the 2 points there. So 4 points to 0 now for Leviathan.
Yeah, great job, and another score off of just the cutting players and able to find the appropriate finish as always. Panda will be one of those finishers oftentimes, but There really are multiple players on this team who can absolutely light it up offensively.
And Rowdy Artifact, I'm pretty sure Opal is worth more when it's smooth and not cracked. So we're going to call him Opal is smooth from now on, because that was a smooth play earlier. But Soggy Bunning Snags still in the spotlight once again. 2 points, another 2 to Leviathan.
Yeah, and that hot dog was cracked, right?
6 points to Leviathan here as we head into the just advantage with Equilibrium here. Let's see if they can turn around the tables. That was smooth, Palidore. That was smooth.
Right?
Leviathan trying to chase down the disc in the defensive bubble. Oh, the missed shot there from Millsy. Potentially a pass. It was a pass the whole time. Intercepted by Old Man Fingers, trying to send it down by the trench, getting intercepted by Zeros as they try to force that clear through the mid side.
Right. Silver Ridge here getting lost though off an attempted train. Joker train it looked like, but picked off by Soggy Bunning Snags. Sending it upwards to Real Zeros, inverted and converted. Nice handoff play to Punda right at the rim.
And just because I'm that type of person that feels bad afterwards, it was a comedic ignore. I didn't really mean to ignore him. Princess, please don't start a witch hunt on me. I didn't mean it. Palidore, I love your puns. Keep them coming. 6 minutes, 25 on the timer.
Oh, don't worry. It was just comedic sadness on my end.
Oh. Now I just feel comedic badness as Old Man Fingers finds the pass to the right tunnel and bouncing off the bow tie there as they try to grab onto it. Leviathan able to answer immediately with Silver Ridge is clear. The follow-up with the regrab stolen and disrupt, able to disrupt the play and the continuation through the right tunnel.
That disc erupts right off the backboard and takes an angle into the wedge as Millsy tries to pick it up, but swinging through is Soggy Bunnings, who also just windmills it over to Punda on the other end, uncontested for the moment. Meanwhile, the back lanes, some attempted stack breakage it looks like, although missing the handles, and Leviathan just trying to work in their offense, but they're content with taking their time as well up the floor here with some well-executed passing. Look at that.
Yeah, it definitely does not, you can't get tired of watching it, the passing from Leviathan, as just smooth 1-2 action, and it kind of evades all the pressure that Equilibrium might have to offer in these situations. Real Zeros, just some 1-2 action with Soggy Bunning Snags, which was funded off of Silver Ridge and Punda's plays earlier on, and it just kind of, they all pile onto each other and they just make the plays like that happen. So we're heading in the halfway mark of the first round, and Leviathan with a 10-point lead.
That was really, really solid pass work up the floor. I mean, end to end, they did not miss anything. And it wasn't flashy in that juncture. One of those plays that aren't flashy, but so fundamentally perfect on that execution as a near make will be rebounded just the same. Punda putting it in, and they're up a dozen.
Yeah, the regrab's just a bit quicker there from Leviathan. Great play there indeed. And we have another just advantage here for Equilibrium. And not to say that it's over yet for the first round, but they definitely need to start looking into changing some things up. Are they going to be trying to assert some more pressure on the possession of Leviathan? Because it really feels like Leviathan are just kind of walking these passes up. But then again, it doesn't seem that easy to try and disrupt those pass plays from Leviathan. They seem to be just in control in a sense as soon as they get those passes going.
Oh yeah, and this is exactly what I was talking about as far as look at this again. That was just phenomenal. Zeros to Soggy Bunning. They are zeroed in at the moment to 14 points, but every one of these passes are they're connecting with such precision.
Yeah, beautiful timing, beautiful chemistry here from Leviathan. You don't get tired of watching it. No matter how many times it plays on the screen, you're always going to be amazed. You're always going to be stunned at how these players are able to work together to just completely flush out any any offense, any pressure that the opposing team has on them. It will be Leviathan now. Punda with the possession, sending it up and above to Soggy. Soggy raining down the pass and the smooth finish. Once again, Punda.
Everything here is going in smooth, as you said. Nothing short of just excellence. I mean, and this again is what I was kind of alluding to earlier on. In being the last couple weeks of regular season for this defending back-to-back championship team in Leviathan, this is how they want to show up, honestly, because they're really looking in just top shelf form, and this is going to be a beast to stop here going to the finals if they're performing like this.
Yep, 100% Palidore. Soggy Bunnings off the Pac-Man, sending it in. Went for the pass to Punda. Punda getting stunned out. Can't really grab onto the disc. Melzy with the clear, but into the hands of Silver to collect it and funnel it back to the teammates. Soggy Bunnings to Punda. Punda stolen off of. And Milzy with the possession now will be going for that clear.
It takes a ricochet. Still may yet be taken back. Let's see. Has a chance. There you go. It will be taken by Disrupt, who then erupts with a stun. And then seeing if they can get back onto the other end, although losing out the handles. So one in the goal, one at the barrier. Punda just waiting for some cutter to join them. And as I say that, well, off the head of Punda, in fact. So unfortunately there, Soggy Bunning is now trying to get it back, but will be ejected into the midfield as 3 players fan out for Orange side on Equilibrium.
Yeah, unlucky from Opal. They went for the clear, just bouncing off the left side, and that's going to allow Soggy Bunnings to punish with that clear, and the regrabs are there, just not directly on the disc, so that's going to allow Equilibrium to get back into their bubbles here. Tried to go for the pass, maybe a slight miscommunication, whatever it is, they still have the possession, I believe, able to snag it just in time. Silveridge crossing it over to Real Zeros above, sending it below, just missing.
Well, with that, back into the midfield, missing one hand, but being caught by the other pair as Punda takes it way up high, sends it to the bottom cutter. Soggy this time. 18 points ahead. Leviathan in just unstoppable form at this point. And on the edge of a mercy maybe soon.
Yeah, well, we mentioned earlier, you know, halfway during the season or whatever that game was, these teams were scoring very, very close, but it just goes to show how over weeks of improving, over weeks of... you know, Leviathan, they experienced a few close rounds since that game with Equilibrium, you know, even a loss of a few rounds. So I feel like it's the ability to kind of adapt and improve over that course of time as Milzy improves their score with a 2 from 7 meters out. It's that ability to kind of improve over time and adapt to those losses. That's what's going to build your team over time. And I think Leviathan are one of those teams that can really stick to that mentality of improving through those losses.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And any team that's built to last needs to do exactly those kind of things to just maintain success. It's one thing to reach the top of the mountain. That's hard in its own right, but it's even harder to stay at the top of the mountain considering all the other teams who are just searching and grinding for the right to be those top teams, the #1 teams, and so on. So absolutely a factor here as the clock does wind down and just playing it out, trying to prevent any kind of mercy situation. Maybe time for one more goal and another perfect assist. What can you say except just well done?
Yeah, well done. You can definitely tell how Leviathan have been able to refine their passing throughout the season's time. It's definitely great to watch, but what's also great to watch is how Equilibrium are still making punishing plays. Even when Leviathan are committing all these members to these attacks, if Equilibrium are able to find that clear, they are on top of that clear immediately, and they're able to convert and possibly find some points, which we saw earlier from Milzy on the right shoulder. That was a result of a clear and a punishment. So that's also healthy. It's also great to watch in these games as well. So now all the matter is you know, kind of forcing those mistakes onto Leviathan even more so, and even finding more punishments, because you know, a lot of Leviathan's points, those are stemming from their pressure that they're forcing on Equilibrium. They're forcing their mistakes, and they're continuing to, you know, punish those mistakes and, you know, find those extra points. So it's that matter of, can Equilibrium do the same thing basically to Leviathan? Can they force those mistakes? Can they find more punishments? Because at the end of the day, more punishments, more points.
Exactly. And punishing they are to the tune of 20 points, which I continue to cite it on these streams. 20 points is the mark. First team to 20 wins, generally speaking. It is extraordinarily rare for any team in any region, any division, no matter the skill level. It's very rare to see 2 teams get 20 plus points. So if one hits that mark, you know that it's probably because they are on fire and in good position to win that game on, you know, round to round. Chat real quick there. So 2 things. One, I saw some chats there about, you know, the teams 2 through 6 being inactive. And yeah, so once per season, teams are allowed to take an inactive week. Just so happens that everyone decided to take this week as inactive. Although I will point out, that still kind of puts those teams in the lottery for next week. Someone's going to have to face Leviathan, and whoever it is, well, good luck. You guys have all went inactive in the same week, so kind of some Russian roulette there, or Australian roulette, as the case may be. But that said, yeah, one per season. And number 2, where did I get the little poster thingamajig? This thing. So I made it. That's about it. The rankings are just pulled from the websites, and credit to Subtlety and Ignite for that. So much for Subtlety working to integrate that with Ignite. And as far as the whole design about it, that's just kind of my little overlays. But otherwise, yeah, it's literally just pulling from the website itself, but it's kind of a custom thing that a few of us made for the stream. That's all.
Really well done there, Palidore. When that pulled up first, I'm like, oh, we have that? Wait a minute. And then just hearing that now, yeah, good work there, Palidore. And good work to Smash for staying up for this cast. It's sleeping time for you. Yeah, thank you for joining us. Appreciate joining us.
Oh, I was going to say, actually, I saw... So, shout out to Dematch Smash, because literally I've seen that name now in the last 14, 16 hours. I've seen Smash in a EU cast, North American cast, and now an OC cast. So for as many casts as I do across the different regions, I've got a multi-regional viewer there. And the Match Smash also, as we were informed earlier, newer player to Echo Arena as well. Has less than 100 games played so far, but has definitely been a student of the game here on the stream. So, welcome to the game and the community, and, well, good night as well.
Yeah, hopefully he's not just face planted on his phone. Like we're talking right now, but he's just face planted on top of it. But nevertheless, we will be heading back into this second round now. Equilibrium trying to fight back for this second one as Leviathan take a very strong start here, ladies and gents. Yeah,
and with that, let's see. Well, round 2 indeed about to start. So, if Smash is currently listening half asleep or fully asleep, Maybe it's one of those cases where we can kind of speak into the dreams. We can say stuff that will influence what Dimash thinks about here.
Smash, PAMWOW was like your favorite person in the world. Ooh. I'm pretty sure you actually owe him $1 million, as Leviathan pretty much nearly owed their 2 points as the disc gets very close by the goals there.
I think you just gave him a nightmare. Good job, Pam. Nonetheless, though, taken here by Punda, and that's gonna be some thunder into the goal. 2 points.
Yeah. Speak about a nightmare. Now he's got thunder running down. I don't know. I feel sorry for Smash at this point. Let's try to keep it to a minimum of the chaoticness. But it's pretty hard to do that in an oceanic stream. But we'll try our best. As Equilibrium now have that joust advantage.
All right, let's see if they can get started off the right way. Well, unfortunately, the right way going to Soggy Bunning Snags up high to Punda. One more to Zeros. Zeros eyeing down that goalkeeper eye to eye. And right through the wickets, Old Man Fingers will be able to get it. But back to Silver Ridge in the midfield. A billion brawls, I might add here. So many stuns. A lot of spins. And finally the win. My goodness, what a move. Highlight plays. Real Zeros does amaze.
Yeah, when you have all those people clustering by the goal, just being able to find that nice tight angle underneath by the backboard there, and just it kind of slips past all the defense in moments like that. So yeah, great placement there from the Real Zeros as Equilibrium try to change away the momentum of the game here, because Leviathan definitely setting the tone once again in the opening of this second round.
My apologies there. Looks like my overlay got stuck. So thank you for the information. Sorry for not checking it. A little bit late. My bad. Happens every now and then. And when it does, it's always the one time I don't check if it happens. That said, back to it. Sorry about that, guys.
Courtesy to Palidore for not trying to wake up Smash. I mean, you can see the visuals on this screen definitely can wake someone up. So, yeah, chat, we're trying to protect someone here, and you guys are... Anyway, you have it your way. Punda now with the disc, gonna go for the clear, stunned away, Disrupt, trying to quickly grab onto the disc, but the regrabs are there first, and Real Zeros able to find the reset to Silver.
Indeed, and the pass there from the mid-range, able to connect, but the second one not quite as much. Punda with a pass up high, and good dives out by Old Man Fingers as well as Disrupt, so they're able to cause a little bit of damage, but Silver Ridge there, just manning that back line, and able to get another chance for Leviathan to score, and you give them those multiple chances, they're likely going to score on one of them.
No style on that one from Punda, just straight away, bang, into the goal, just like a whip. just not giving any time for a response there from the goalie. Setting the tone immediately. 6 points to Leviathan here within the second round. And things are just not really looking good for Equilibrium in terms of this entire match. I mean, I feel like we're definitely going to have to see a change of gameplay soon. Whether it's just kind of dedicating more players to some pressure on the disc. As you can see, like Leviathan constantly chasing with those stacks. Whereas you take a look at Equilibrium, and a majority of the time you will see them kind of isolated away from each other. And although it definitely is a viable strat, you definitely have to question it over time as you see Leviathan just making use of these stacks and making use of that pressure and just finding all these passes, just making it work in general.
And even with a miss there, guess what? A second attempt, and as we know, those ones have been highly successful when they get those 2 or 3 attempts. I mean, one of them will go in, but certainly putting in some work here is Equilibrium's trying their best to stay in this one and just keep that fight going. And as they do that, well, might have some chances here. I mean, everyone diving out, and we'll actually just capture it for Leviathan. Panda just passing it, and here we go again.
Great pass there over to Pac-Man. And now on Ghost here. Good resetting here from Leviathan. Getting stunned out, however, Silveridge, this might be an opportunity for Equilibrium. They have the possession by the right boot, making their way in and able to weave it through. Disrupt. A difficult shot indeed to make there, but got it regardless. 2 points to 6.
Yeah, very nicely done. And with that, still, they're within reach. And as I mentioned, that 20-point mark in any round, a powerful one to hit for any team. So far, the pace a little bit slower for Leviathan, and part of that certainly Equilibrium, just keeping that pressure on. It's a tough thing to maintain that kind of scoring pace for any team, beyond perhaps Ignite, admittedly, but for any other team, very hard to get 20 points twice in a row.
And yeah, and I will say this, Leviathan, who did have a scrim against Team Ignite, that is one of the most important factors that they did take away from that game. It was how important pressure is within this game. Aside from many other factors, that is definitely a great save there from Opal. Oh my god, it was foolish of him to make that shot as Opal just saved it. And another one, but Old Man able to steal it away with the fingers. And here comes Real Zero for a third shot, but Punda able to execute.
Oh, that hurts. That was such good defense being shown there by Equilibrium. Definitely well balanced, got their bearings, and yet, back and back it was taken from Leviathan until what happened? Well, you can't get it done on those initial throws, so what do? You just go for the old dunkaroo. Very hard to stop that if you can execute those passes to a player latched at the rim.
And I'm just listening in the comms now to see. I think it was a Leviathan pause, I'm pretty sure, but just a quick pause here as both teams try to gather themselves up. 4 minutes 38 remaining on the timer here. 2 points to 8. But those, yeah, as you said, Palidore, that series of saves was definitely worth noting there. From Opal's great save immediately, just trying to send it out. And then Old Man Fingers able to find that steal right before Leviathan could do anything about it. But then Punda was able to follow up in the end. But still, overall, a great series there from Equilibrium. It's just that it comes to that next step of being able to send the disc out and follow up on it. Otherwise, like you said, Leviathan's a team where if you give them that opportunity to come around the second time or the third time, they will most likely succeed. And that's what we just saw there. So still, however, great plays there from Equilibrium as players able to reconnect, refresh themselves, and I think we'll be heading back into it very soon.
Some serious mimage going on, I want to note there, from both Leviathan and Equilibrium. Millsy there with the Leviathan players, trying to communicate what was what, I suppose, without switching over. But that said, yeah, we do have the full 4 back in full force over for Leviathan, so can anticipate here we'll be restarting this round momentarily, and there's the unpause as I say that. Rowdy Artifact. Opal is smooth. Yes, indeed. Smooth and cracked, just like Soggy. Right?
Punda in the chat saying Soggy's internet obviously stuffing up, so, well, who let the cows out? Who? Soggy, I believe. Yeah, thank you. Old Man Fingers now with the just advantage. I appreciate you supporting me even though after I do the comedic ignore. It really makes me smile. Thank you very much, Palidore.
I'm only marginally more depressed than I was 10 minutes ago.
Oh.
Silver Ridge, though, with a disc. We're getting up the floor here. We're going to get happy again here soon.
Yeah, Silver Ridge being able to find the disc and send it back to Soggy. Soggy with the pass. Oh, the cut in, not able to make it in time. And here comes Disrupt now with the clear. And let's see if they could follow up on here, because Silver Ridge just able to just kind of nail down on those clears and just funnel it back to the team, as we see Real Zeros now with the disc, able to send it to Punda. And the save from Opal. It was a smooth save indeed, as he finds it and sends it back. But once again, Silver.
Oh man, just death by 1,000 paper cuts in a sense, because really Leviathan is having to work really hard for their goals here in this second round, thanks to some stellar defensive dives and direct saves. And yet the 1,000 paper cuts I mentioned, well, it's this. Look, they cut in, and on paper that's 10-2.
Oh, sorry, my head was just filled with Hunter x Hunter there for a second, because death by 1,000,000 paper cuts, I swear that's a reference from that. But nevertheless, it definitely is a very difficult death to escape if you can't find those clears, because, you know, Silver Ridge is just going to keep grabbing that disc and sending it back, and Leviathan are just going to keep making it work. So unless you can avoid that, as they are unable to avoid that steal from Punda, Punda sending it down, and that's going to bounce from 30 meters out. 3 points to Leviathan.
And a stellar 3 points it was. Wow, the touch from Punda, and all too much to handle, it seems like, off that blitz on the defensive stack. They turned it into points in a snap of a finger.
Yep, and now with a snap of the old man finger, I believe. Yes, he does have the disc, trying to send it to the right tunnel, getting intercepted there. Punda, trying to say, hey, I can throw it 30 meters out as well, again and again. But it will be Punda sending it over to Real Zeros, and Real Zeros with the cut in. Oh boy, that was beautiful.
That it was 15-2, and you know, I mentioned the pace was a bit slower on earlier on, and well, it was. Equilibrium was doing very well for themselves for sure, but the more you get into the trenches of these matches, the thick of these matches, when it comes down to those minutes, the more and more that experience that starts shining on through, and you know that the team Leviathan, they stabilize, and once again they are on pace for potentially that 20-point round if they can keep it going these next 2 minutes.
Yep, and Disrupt now going to be sending it over to the bow tie. Here comes Opal now getting stunned away. Those re-grabs from Leviathan just going to be pressuring that possession non-stop, as they do find the pass through the right side. Soggy getting stunned out, trying to force that clear. Old man fingers unable to get the grasp on it as the re-grabs are there. Well, I think that might have gone in or off the post. Regardless, they stopped it. Great re-grabs there from Equilibrium.
Still, though, guess who? It's Real Zeros and Leviathan with a disc recovery at the mid-zone, sending it down the floor. The defense trying their best to get back, but no one there except the goalie, and Punda able to send it right into the chest. 17-2 is the score.
Just those... After receiving the pass within the bubble, Leviathan have this ability, at least Punda, what we've seen so far, just instantly snapping it back towards the goal, and it definitely does take the goalie off their feet for a few seconds there. Just instantly sending the disc in can just disrupt any defensive measure the goalie might have, whether it's extending towards the player or just trying to quickly snap and save the disc. Quick reflexes, quick shots like that can definitely make things difficult, as Leviathan are able to rain down a few more points from the 3-point line. Punda 22 meters out.
And there's the 20 after all. So in the last minute of action, they will hit that decisive mark, and really turning up the heat on the scoring rate in the last 5 minutes of this round. Equilibrium, again, one of those cases where you can say the score misleading in a sense, although the offense was just incredible from Leviathan on the whole. But Equilibrium certainly did put up a good fight and showed some great flashes of brilliance there, which is tough to overcome the monster that is this championship team.
Yeah, and just trying to struggle to quickly grab that disc and send it back away. But Leviathan, they're looking to show no mercy as the stun comes in, and the punishment. That will be the mercy within the second round there, just before the timer runs out. Leviathan will be your champions here, ladies and gentlemen. 2 rounds to none. But what a great game indeed we watched here. I mean, something that I will note. Teams will be very disrupt, no pun intended, when a player or the team in general is changed and moved around. We saw it earlier within the season with Leviathan. A single player not being in place, you got to think about it like this. These teams are training, they're playing with these members. to disrupt the chemistry like that, suddenly, abruptly, within a game, it can definitely put some pressure on you, and it can definitely disrupt a lot of the plays. No pun intended. It can disrupt a lot of the plays that you want to be making here. So, credit where it's due. Equilibrium still doing well under their circumstances. But yeah, just saying, it's definitely something that shouldn't be ignored. It does happen within this series.
Stats went bye-bye, and I'm confused why. Give me 1 second. Let me do a live test here. First, I'm gonna send it back to the gameplay screen. I'll do some echo overtime, and just 1 second here. This is very suspect. Okay, so they're back, and now if we go to the score screen again, surely things will be all corrected. Yes. Okay,
Yes.
well, there we go. Live bug fixing on stream here with VRML, and all good on that end. We have our stats.
Yep, and as the GGs flood through the chat, taking a look at the stats here, within the first and second round, the scoreboard does speak for the game in this circumstance. 20 points to 2 within the first, 22 to 2 in the second. Even across the board of Team Leviathan, we take a look at the stun percentage as well as the possession rate. I feel like when you look at the possession rate, 61%, you can't just take a look at, 11% extra, big deal. It is a big deal. Even 5% extra on the possession rate is a big deal. And as well as that, when you're having that rate of stuns going across the board, that just speaks for the pressure that Leviathan are able to push onto Equilibrium. So great team plays there from Leviathan.
Indeed. I mean, there were so many really big highlight passing plays from them that you could point out. Just as I said, some of them were flashier than others. Some of them were just not flashy at all, but they were so picture perfect in terms of the execution, fundamental team play. Where there were a few different times where down the entire stretch of the floor, starting off on and their goal for Leviathan all the way to the opposing goal. Not a single missed pass, crisscrossing it over and over, trying to weave their way through the defense. And that stuff is just, it comes with time, it comes with the veteran experience, the ability to keep calm under pressure and to find those passes even when there's defenses in the way. And then the team chemistry also, not only the things that are vocalized in terms of communication, but also the things that are just kind of inherent, the things that because you played with these players for so long and so much. You also, there's a degree of telepathy kind of when you have that kind of chemistry and durability as a team season over season.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, this is the ranked 1 team in the region. So honestly, at this point in time, I think that all the teams will be expecting these type of plays to be heading their way. And like you said, it is hard to stay on the top of the hill when you do reach the top. So it's teams like Equilibrium here that we saw this afternoon, or this early morning for you, Palidore. Teams like Equilibrium, who you cannot sleep on, because we saw a few plays there within this game. They can make those plays happen, and it's all about taking that next step. The way I like to think about it is Leviathan were probably at that stage as well as what Equilibrium are at this point. They did have those defensive plays, they did have the offensive plays, but it was just taking that next step to be able to follow through, make an efficient clear, just follow up with it, just continue with the pressure. All these different factors that you really need to start pushing yourself towards, because that is what's going to separate you from the other teams, which Leviathan have been able to do so well. Equilibrium, don't sleep on them. They are on their way as well, as we see Punda in the chat as well, sending some GGs.
Indeed, and thanks for that, PAMWOW. Hey, it's all in details, right? Glad you could make heads of it, though. And we've coined some new terms and some new I think future running gags for these streams.
Thanks for the cast, Palidore. Let me just play my ukulele, because it'll look funny to play a light tuned ukulele in like a big giant.
Hey, let's do this.
Here we go. Wait. What can I say except you're welcome for the cast with Palidore. We're gonna end the stream. You're welcome. Punda. What rhymes with? I don't know. Thank you very much to join the stream. Really appreciate everybody. Thanks for the cast.
Where'd the voice go?
I will make whatever voice I want to make, mate, okay?
Okay, well, be happy, healthy, and safe and good to each other, and don't bother me up there, Giant Man. We're gonna see you again real soon.
And we're underway.
Season 4 of VRML Echo Arena is brought to you by HyperX, Asterion Products, VRware, Rebuff Reality, VR Cover, and ProTube VR.
And of course, before we go off, this match was also sponsored by D-Foot. Thank you for coming, and we'll see you again tomorrow.